This is the Glitch Panopticon Season 2 Chapter 2. In this episode, we will be talking how the system reasserts its control over the population. If you imagine that the social equilibrium created by the calibration of individuals according to their particular bodily rhythms is maintained by the low-frequency sound beacon generated in heavily populated areas, then it is possible to draw certain conclusions. Namely, the source of this beacon, to be effective, must be mobile, it must be fast-moving, it must be able to reach the vast majority of populated areas. In most countries, the most effective form of mobile platform, which could facilitate the generation of sound or vibrational pulses through populated areas, is a vehicle, but it is not a plane, or a car, it is a train. Trains possess the ability to tow vast quantities of equipment that would be difficult to move by road. More importantly, trains offer the ability to access vast portions of the countryside which is unreachable by plane or by car. Especially in countries such as Canada, the rail lines are older and more extensive in the countryside beyond the urban areas. Planes offer the ability to move to more secluded areas, but they are too high in the atmosphere to be effective sources of vibrational pulses. Likewise, trains are already passing through urban and rural areas all the time. They are the most discreet form of transportation available to the government. Now, let's assume for a second that they are using trains as mobile platforms to generate sound pulses in populated areas, to calibrate our bodily rhythms, as an external pacemaker. They would need a way to ensure that these sound pulses propagate in the atmosphere. They would need a way to ensure that they reach the intended targets. Different circumstances are more amenable to the transmission of vibrational waves through the atmosphere. For example, sound waves travel more effectively through humid air than they do through dry air. Thus, it may require a combination of two forms of transportation to maintain the propagation of the waves. For example, let's say someone discovered that by using deep breathing exercises, they could dislodge the external conditioning of their bodily rhythms. Let's say for a second that such a deconditioning could have the effect of decoupling the entire network of the urban or populated area. This would all be readily observable through the infrared readings of the population observed by satellite, as well as electrical activity, and other readings. Now, what if, and I am only suggesting a possible explanation, not drawing any conclusions. What if the conspiracy of chemtrails is a lie designed to hide the deeper truth? What if the sole purpose of the plane emissions is the ejection of atmospheric moisture, which generates cloud cover, more effectively facilitating the transmission of sound waves through the ambient atmosphere? Thus, I posit the following explanation. 1. Someone identifies a way to decouple their rhythms from the group. 2. Planes are directed into the atmosphere to eject moisture in the surrounding urban area. 3. As the moisture generates cloud cover, it facilitates the transmission of sound waves by the mobile train platforms, which are subsequently sent into the train lines through the urban area, generating vibrational low-frequency waves, reconditioning the offending individual and asserting social control over the populace. In other words, the system is designed to fan the flames by directing air traffic to problem areas, train platforms generating low-frequency sound waves, resynchronizing the population with the offending individual or individuals. It sounds like science fiction. But I have directly observed these train platforms moving through populated areas in response to offending behavior, releasing low-frequency sound as they go. The irony is that the conspiracy theory tells us that the government is using chemicals through plane emissions to control us. And the truth, which is more palatable, betrays the organization of their system of control. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.